Hello, greetings, wonderful viewers, wherever you are. Welcome to Atlantic TV, the home of TV revolution. As always, we're located in the little smiling coast of West Africa, the Gambia homeland. Yeah, come and enjoy the Gambian hospitality, right? Eid Mubarak to everybody out there. And we're also lucky enough to be right here at West Coast region side of Gambia, Combo Farato, Combo South. That's where our studio is. My name is Bakary Manneh, fondly called Big Sam. I'm the host of this program called Sports 360 Light Special. Special indeed that we have to bring it on, and of course we have to bring it live on the screens near you, wherever you are. Well, Sport 360 Light is right here, and I'm the host once again. Do follow Sport 360 on Atlantic TV. Well, today we're going to sports, and this time sports administration. When we talk about sport administration or especially media, today we'll be looking at the Sports Journalists Association of the Gambia, the umbrella body that is controlling all the sports personals and sports media houses in the Gambia. And my guest is no other than Honorable, I call him Honorable Omar Jarju, the president of the Sports Journalists Association of the Gambia. And today our topic will center to, you need to know about Omar, a little bit about him and how he come to the associations, etc. And also some of the things that the Omar Jarju-led executive has done within a year. And also the big plus that is the AIPS, the 8 AIPs, the biggest in the continent, that was hosted by the Sports Journalists Association, as he, the head of the Sports Journalists Association, and the advice and some ethics that sport writers and sport reporters could go through. Alhaji Omar, my boss, welcome to Sport 360 Special. Eid Mubarak, huh?
All right, thank you so much.
Salibo mi nagnagal.
Magjuwawa, Drenko Joheb, maybe before we leave, but it's a pleasure to be here with you again.
Thank you.
Eid Mubarak to you and to the entire Atlantic TV management and your fans. It's definitely a pleasure to come back to this platform, and then we talk about things that we love talking about. The association that is SJAG.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Before we move, once again, my viewers, thank you so much for being there as we coming to you live from Atlantic TV. As usual, we will always give you our guest priority to say hi to the family. I mean, at least we are from Pray, right?
Yes.
Maybe special prayer to your family, your wife, your people of SJAG, and people out there that you can say hi to.
Yes, I just want to use this opportunity to seek forgiveness from the membership of the SJAG, of course, from my family, my mom and dad, my siblings, of course, my wife too, who is away in China, and my friends. Eid, of course, is a moment of reflection, moment of forgiveness, and then pray that we witnessed many Eids to come in good health, prosperity, and may peace continue to reign in our beloved country, and then may we continue to coexist as people, and of course as a nation. So I want to once again seek forgiveness from everyone who I have wronged in one way or the other, but also forgiven equally those that have wronged me. To see, I'm here to say that yes, I'm here to seek forgiveness from all of you, and then forgiving all of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, of course, all the guy balal nyu yalla nyu yalla bole bala. Thank you, Omar. Before we start, I want to congratulate you and the entire executive of the Sports Journalists Association for hosting one of the biggest gathering of the continent, which is the 8 AIPS Congress in the Gambia. Once again, congratulations for a wonderful, successful story for that first time in the Gambia. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It's a collective work. You are just humble, but you are part of the success. As the first vice president of the association, this was a success for all of us as an executive, as an association, but by extension as a country. Because for me, it went beyond the SJAG. It was a Gambian occasion, a Gambian event, in many ways. Notably, the 8th AIPS Africa Congress has placed the country at that international stage in terms of sports diplomacy, projecting the image of the country in a way that you can't even imagine how positive it is. So for me, the success of the Congress comes down to teamwork, collaboration with government, with other stakeholders that have also participated in one way or the other to making sure that the event is a success. The Congress, as a sports journalist, it has also availed colleagues the opportunity to interact with distinguished sports journalists across Africa and beyond. Also, it has also given Gambian sports journalists the opportunity to partake in discussions that are so much important for sports development, but for sports journalism. These are contemporary issues, notably the emergence of artificial intelligence, which was quite important for colleagues to participate, especially Gambia. So it was just a matter of having it in Gambia, but the objective is to make it have an everlasting impact on us as colleagues, but of course as a country. So I think it has also showcased the beautiful places that we have as a country, because delegates had the time to visit some historical places, some tourist spots that have gone viral with their videos and pictures. So it has really shown Gambia as a tourism destination, not only tourism destination, but as a premier tourism destination, sports tourism destination. So these are a few points that the Congress has able to achieve, thanks to all of us that have done so much well. And I want to sincerely also commend the organizing committee, the local organizing committee that we launched prior to the event, because they've done extremely well, in making sure that the event went smoothly, and then everything went as expected. Also, we have to commend the government of the Gambia for standing side by side with us, particularly the Minister of Youth and Sports and the Vice President through the presidency. They've all played a huge role in making sure that the 8th AIPS Africa Congress was a success.
Wow, thank you so much. And that is it. First time in the game, eight for that matter. Moving on, let's know a little bit about our president Omar. Just a little bit about Mr. Jarju. Yeah, just a little,
Well,
because that's your president right here.
okay, Omar Jarju, it's difficult for me to sometimes speak about myself,
Just a
but
little bit.
I'll give it an introduction.
Exactly. Just a sorry.
Omar is a Gambian, is a Muslim, born and brought up in Talinding, very lively town, bustling town, I should say, where you have a mixture of tribes, cultures, anything that you can imagine of having in a community. Talinding has it. Grew up there, started my education there. In fact, I did my education Talinding up to senior level before I moved to St. Augustine's. It was Nafa Nursery School. I don't know whether the school is still there. It was Nafa Nursery School, then to Talinding Primary to Junior, and then to St. Augustine's. I'm the interestingly, I think the first time I'm saying this in any interview, that I'm the first and the only child, the male child, I should say, of my family. So I have lovely sisters, and went through West Coast Radio after my education. Then while at West Coast Radio, did a few courses there and there before I got enrolled at SJAG to study journalism and communication. And then after there, I did few certificates and diploma certificates in communication and journalism online too. One of them, is the FISU leadership program. First it was held online, but then in 2018, remember that was the year of the World Cup. I had the chance to also benefit from a month or 2 month training in sports journalism and communication in Russia, where I had the chance to also cover the World Cup
in South Africa,
in Russia.
Oh, in Russia. Sorry, in Russia.
Yeah, in Russia. 2018 was in Russia. So yes, from there, West Coast Radio, I quickly moved to the Chronicle. Then Chronicle, I was there for a few years, and then I left. Briefly also worked with West Africa Democracy Radio as a sports correspondent in Gambia. Had also a few stints with France 24 or France 24, they call it. So briefly, this is my biography.
A very good one. I know you will enjoy this. Of course, it's the president and the VP together on this interview. Quite interesting. All right, let's know, how do you join SJAG and your road to the presidency?
My joining SJAG, it's quite interesting because then when I was at West Coast Radio, used to have the secretary then working at the radio of the Liba. During that time, I was a rookie reporter, came new to West Coast. But then again, I did not even bother to join at that time because, I was young and then did not even know the importance of association. So it was one moment that I felt like, okay, I wanted to add my voice into how things were going. To be honest, it's not because of things were going bad, but no executive is perfect. Even us right now, people that are outside have 1 or 3 things that they think if we do, we can better things. That is how I was saying things. So in that line, I said to myself, I can't be outside and then correct things that are inside. I have to be inside. I need to be inside so that I can have a say on how things should definitely be moved. That is how I joined SJAG, and then I also made sure that not only joining SJAG, but I become active in the sense that I want to be also part of the decision-making table. After joining, I was co-opted, as an executive member, so I also was part and parcel of people that we are talking and discussing about the future of the association, and which was a very great team then led by Musa Sise. I want to use this opportunity to thank all of them for the good work that they've also done, the sacrifices that they've made for the association to be here today. So it is that we served 4 years. I was part of the executive that served 4 years, but then the constitution then did not allow the president to serve more than four terms. So the question came. To be honest with you, I had no intention of becoming the SJAG president. It has never come to my mind. Because all of us decided that we've served, be it president, executive member, co-opted member, we served our time. So we have to go and then allow others to come. So I was away. I think I was in Senegal, then Dakar, and I received call from Sankule. Before him, I think someone called, including Nani and others, that look, we want you to come forward and then lead the association. Hence, some of you, or Musa is not contesting again. Aliu said he is no more interested, the entire executive. So we want you to. I said no. I don't think I can do it. So I referred them back to some people that I think I can do, the likes of Dudu, Sang Mendi, Lamin Cham, and others. At some point I think I even mentioned your name to them. So I told them, go back to these people and then talk to them if they can do it. They should do it. For me, I did not agree. And then we went to MS2, MS Jalo. Yes.
MS.
I have to convince MS, So I accepted to take this job 1 week before the I think 5 days before the elections.
Wow.
But then again, the executive also decided to say, okay, because they asked me, I said, Omar, no, I'm not interested. Then Udman also wanted to come in. I don't know, reason best known to other members. Then they said we have to go for the primaries.
Okay.
The executive, because now Omar said, because some people spoke to me.
Okay.
Some people that I respect so much spoke to me that they said, look, Omar, in all of su nit ñëwee jox la cër bii nii am na yeneen cër yi nga xamante ne doo ko mën a delloo. So we want you to think about it and then take your time and think about it. So there are certain people, when they talk to me, I listen to them. Yeah. 2, 3, 4 people that I have so much respect for. They spoke to me about a lot of things, and then the trust that the Gambian sports journalists have in me out of the lots for me to lead. I think, so it was at the last minute. I said, guys, I think I can do it. And they said, okay, so now the executive, Uthman or Omar? Luckily, they said Omar. So that's how I got in there unopposed as the SJAG president.
Wow, quite awesome. Remember, you watching Atlantic TV, the home of TV Revolution. This is an exclusive, for that matter, a special. We call it Sport 360 special, to dig deep about your president and association, especially those in sports. Remember, Sports Journalists Association, umbrella body, media or sports, that for every sporting activity in the Gambia, for that matter, not only football, basketball, name them. As far as you are into sports, there is it. And that's Mr. Moving on, Mr. President, when you first come into office with the new executive, which included Marshall, was first that you people did?
We did quite a lot of things. It's good that you said first.
Yeah, that's why I said first.
Yes. Sometimes we even struggle to capture some
of these
highlights or activities that we've done.
That's why some are documented.
Exactly, we have to go through the records.
Exactly.
Because I can humbly say that we've achieved a lot, but first, what we did as an association or as an executive,
exactly,
we wanted to know where we are as an association, as Gambian sports journalists, so that we can know where to go and how to get there. So the first thing we did is to have a convergence, an event where we invited all the sports journalists in this country to gather and discuss about issues affecting our job and how do we get there, when do we get there. So it was successful. It was held at the GNOC, and then the hall was filled to capacity. So that was the first event that we had, and there we had the opportunity to listen to colleagues about some of the challenges that they have, and then some of the issues that are affecting their job as far as they're journalists. And one of the issues is about media tribune when they go for coverages across the centers, the accessibility, and of course where they sit. Benches that are meant for journalists should be only occupied by journalists, and then are even these benches suitable to accommodate journalists? So all those things were issues that really came up, and then we were able to also rely on those issues to fix them. Remember, when we had that meeting, we also met with the zones to inform them about these issues, and they've all along been collaborating with us in making sure that journalists are taken care of, and then where they sit, it's only reserved for journalists, but also journalists deserve to sit on a proper chair, proper bench, like any other official in that page.
Oh, congratulations. That was good. All right, let's move here. What are some of the activities the executive do? For instance, the capacity building, regional branches, SJA regional banking across the nation, setting of women commission, etc.
Yes, so the regional chapters, because when we came in as an executive, we realize and then we know that journalism or sports journalism, it's not only practice in the combos. In fact, we have top journalists across the regions. So we want to bridge that gap, number one, but also we also want to uh, integrate them into the national body. Let them also feel that they are part and parcel of a body that is responsible for journalist matters. So we said, okay, let's look at the regions that we have and then see who are those practicing sports journalism across this region so that we can involve them through these chapters. That is why and that is how we came up with these regional chapters. TRR, we have a chapter there. URR, we have a chapter there also. In LRR, we have chapters. So all those chapters have chairpersons. So those chairpersons are the ones that are heading those regional chapters respectively in their regions. So this will also promote confidence across or within the members across the regions, because who knows, the next SJAG president, like I always tell them, can even come from the regions. So this is also an opportunity for them to be active and then participate in all our events. That is why on this note I have to also commend the URL chapter for setting the pace in making sure that they are first regional chapter to organize an award night. But also not only that, but they've been quite vibrant, and that is why anything that we are doing as an association, as an executive, we try to involve them. Even this trip to Senegal, the package, we've tried to invite 5 of them from the chapters. That is to reward them of their activeness, but their effectiveness as a regional chapter, so that they can serve as an example to all regional chapters that they have to be well organized, coordinated, but active in the sense that that they promote the ethics and the guidelines of the SJAG.
Some of the capacity buildings.
The capacity building training also, we've had series of them. I mean, many capacity building programs. We started I think one with AIPS Global to train journalists on writing, news writing, interview skills, and broadcasting. That was facilitated by a renowned sports journalist from Argentina, Martin. Also that was followed by training on budget analysis and reporting, because we've had issues over the years on journalists finding it difficult to report on budget. That is why sometimes when we attend these AGMs by these associations or federations, difficult for colleagues to analyze and report to public about what transpired when it comes to financial situations. So that training was also important. And then we also had a series of trainings with our women, the launch of the Women Sports Supporters Commission,
exactly,
because we want to also give equal representation in sports media in the Gambia. And that is why we don't just want them to be accompanying us. Now it is an advanced world where you have this debate all over gender equity and equality. So as an executive, we said to it that, okay, now because we have a growing list of female sports journalists and photographers, why can't they handle their own affairs? But under the SJAG, they can be in the driving seat, fix and determine what the future holds for them, and them working towards achieving that. So we had this commission launched to also give them the chance and the opportunity to be shaping their future, using their minds, using their influence, and using their intelligence, to determine what the future holds for them as women in sports media. So that is also something that we've done over the years. Women Sports Supporters Commission, for the first time that we have this in Gambia. So these are a few things that I think I can remember
You
for
can
now.
remember.
You
Maybe we
know,
need the SG and the assistant
yes,
to also,
yes, yes.
because they got everything documented.
I should have
Written something.
jot
But I
them.
think regarding the veterans, I think
Mm.
you've done quite
Yes,
remarkable.
yes, yes, yes. That is Independence Day seminar with Gambian veterans.
Mm.
So this was an idea conceived also by the executive to see that okay, Gambia celebrates the independence, but then again, before independence, there was a sport that was practiced in Gambia, that is cricket. There are people that are still alive that witnessed those moments, and then pre-independence, immediately after independence, there are people that also had the chance to witness how sports was like. The first national team after independence, they are still alive. So why not bring them together so that they can discuss how things were, how Gambia was in sports before and after independence, and how they used to play football barefooted, how they used to struggle to play football with very very limited resources, if not no resources at all. So we try to also include the younger generation in this conversation so they can be inspired. So we had the first one, independent, before this one, because this one was quite we had a lot of activities in between. So we decided to move it to next year,
Okay.
where we're gonna have a bigger conversation also on Independence Day celebration with the Gambian sports legend. So
Yeah.
it's an event that I hope it will continue. We intend to continue doing it as
After 1 year in your office with the executive, what can you reflect, Mr. Jarju?
well. For me, anyone who knows me, I don't want to. I don't like looking back. I like maybe people looking back
Mm-hmm.
on my behalf, finding me.
Okay.
So maybe the things that I achieve
Mhm.
a lot is because of I don't look back.
Okay.
Sometimes it's good to reflect.
Yeah. Yep.
And that is, I think that is a weakness for me,
No.
but also
Yeah.
a strength,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like I have not done anything
Mm-hmm.
as a leader and as a head of an executive. That is why it motivates me to do even more.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at it together, we were able to achieve a lot of things as an
Yeah.
executive
Yeah.
within 1 year, which is quite unprecedented. But then this is what we all signed up for. The mission is clear. It is done with so much vision and passion. If it is not passion, it's nothing for us, because none of us here pay to serve.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So whatever we do, because of passion that we have for it, but of course the mission is to change the dynamic, not what has been happening here. If that was the case, then we don't need to change leadership. I have to take it from where Musa left it, then push it to a higher level. So whoever comes right after me will also have to work harder so he can push it to the next level. The most important thing, taking the SJAG to the doorstep of every Gambian sports journalist. And we were able to achieve that. Now, the SJAG is quite a vibrant organization. Everybody in this country sees and knows what we do as an association, and every member of the SJAG feels, knows what we do, and then feels part of the association, because there is no member in the SJAG that has not benefited. Across all the 200 and something members that we have, there is no member in the SJAG now that has not in one way or the other benefited from what we do as an executive. So for me, I think that is the achievement that we should be proud of ourselves achieving, and then look at it, apart from the AFCON, us taking this huge number of journalists. When the idea was here, everybody said, no, it's a large number. Said we can do it, because it's Senegal, we're taking more than 40 journalists to Senegal. That is great, because every journalist will want to cover
Mm-hmm.
and talk about your national team. And then, list I forget, the recent launch of the sports content creators. We've seen they're coming stronger on us. Because now you have your phone and then you have your tripod. You are a content creator. But then now, the question is, these content creators, most of them are serving as a threat. Some will argue that they are becoming a threat to what we do as sports journalists. Threat in the sense, many argue that they are coming to take our job. But for me, I have a different perspective to it. One, a sports content creator cannot serve as a threat to a journalist.
It's not a journalist.
Because he's not a journalist.
It's not a journalist at all.
So he's not guided by ethical lines that are drawn for a sports journalist or a journalist. So it is not the same. The most important thing, and that's what we did as an executive, is to see how do we integrate sports content creators into the association. And that is the reason being is because their primary objective is to promote. So it is good in our sports that we have sports content creators, Gambian sports content creators that are talking about sports, not only football, even though we have most of them that are football minded or dominated. But then it's good to have them so that they can be talking about what we do. I'm not saying journalists, but then Gambian sports, the associations, the athletes, profiling them. So these are things that it's PR based, if you like, but then it is good for our football. Now, if you go to other organizations like FIFA and CAF, they are considering how to, in fact, integrate content creators, in this AFCON and World Cup. In fact, they have sometimes given allocated quotas to cover these big tournaments. Now a content creator, sometimes is even considered at some level than even a journalist, because what they will argue is people, not everybody watches TV now. Everybody is with your phone. You are either on TikTok or on YouTube or on Instagram. So I think that is also an achievement that we have as an executive, trying to bring the content creator to say, hey, come, we are not enemies. I think when we join force, we can develop what we all love developing, that is Gambian sports. Even though other countries don't recognize content creators because they see them as threats. For us in Gambia, we see them as partners, and then we are going to continue working with them, but also based on criteria and guidelines. We don't just give them the platform to operate like that. Really? Like we do, observing ethics, even though the ethics are not the same, but there are also guidelines that we have to design, that we already designed, in fact, for them, so that anything that happens, accountability will come to play. As it's easier than said that we journalists, we want to hold people accountable, but we don't want to be held accountable. That definitely.
Yeah, I think even our neighbor Senegal, have to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we come in, but I want us to still talk about that is the pre and post, because we saw a lot of backroom arrangement being set up by you, Musa Sisi, the Secretary Generals, and put them together, work towards it, and during and after. We've seen something that the SJAG did have. In fact, even the departments that you visit, giving them certificate, they said they have never have in their 20 years, decades of service to see that kind of thing. Take us through to that, a little bit of that.
Well, that is quite important because we, like I said earlier on, we want to make this quite an impactful event. And that is why still now people are talking about it. And I told the executive the last time, we have to be humble about it, because even recently we receive congratulatory messages from countries and from colleagues that have participated, and some couldn't make it, but they've been following the event. They are sending in their heartfelt messages, congratulatory messages, showcasing how happy they are, and how we were able to raise the bar high, African bar very high. Because I would like to quote from the president of the AIPS Global, Gianni Merlo,
Okay.
who is quoted saying that now it is going to be difficult for any African country to come forward trying to host this event, because Gambia set the bar so high that it is going to serve as a problem. Now no country will want to jump over and say I want to host,
Yeah.
because of how the Gambia was able to host it. For us, we take this with humility. Like I told the executive, we have to build also from here, but also we did not do this alone. We did this collaboration with key stakeholders, the ministry, the GNOC, the Gambia Immigration Department, the Gambia Police Force, the intervention, ORIX, and other partners,
GT board,
GT
etc.
board,
Yeah.
and then you name them, Trust Bank, and then you name them. So at the end of the event, normally what we see happens is people bringing them together and then certify them in the form of a dinner or speech giving ceremony. But we said no. Hence, they've given us their money. At the end of the day, we have to go back to them. Let's not call them. We go to them and then thank them, show appreciation to them. That's what we did as an executive. We took time out of our busy schedule to go around all the companies that have supported us in making sure that the event was a success. So for us, it was not only thanking them, but we also want to build the relationship, cement it for future events, and then to see how best we can continue connecting, and then strengthen the relationship for the longest time and for the greater good.
Yeah. About the AIPS Africa, the Secretary General, and Mr. Cham,
Yeah.
I know you have a very good, through the, especially Cham, the president, with, yeah, the secretary.
Yeah, so AIPS Africa also, I have to commend them.
Yeah.
They've done extremely well, starting with the secretary, who is our brother, Musa. He's a Gambian, and it's also good to have a secretary of the AIPS Africa as a Gambian. Abdullah Cham also is a brother and an advisor, who definitely I also have to commend for his guidance, because he came here days before the event to inspect and see areas in which he thinks we can develop and then improve on. He also did so well. Then he has written a very strong letter after the event congratulating, but also he stayed after the event just to meet the entire executive, to thank us, to listen to us, see how we made it together as a team, but to extend also his gratitude for what he described as most successful ever AIPS Congress in the history of the association. So that is also quite pleasing. I am quite happy that he felt that way, but also our relationship is quite cordial. Even this game in Senegal now, he is in fact in charge of the accreditations for the Gambian team. Omar, anything that you want in Senegal, you tell me. Sometimes he feels very mad at me when I go to Senegal and him not knowing
that you are in the town.
Exactly. So when I leave, I'll call him. I said, no, don't do this again. And I said, no, I don't want to disturb you, because I said, no, you don't have to come to Senegal. I'm here and I'm not aware. So don't do it again. So he has an open door policy for Gambian sports journalists, and anybody, like he always say, any Gambian sports journalist that is coming to Senegal, Omar, you have to tell me, because we have to take care of that individual, like the way you take care of us when we come to Gambia. So that that brotherly relationship, love is quite mutual between us and them. Of course, we met the relationship with Musa and them, SJAG and I and pairs. with Kume, and then Ablai Cham came. So we hope that the relationship continues to grow stronger and stronger.
Mr. President, we before we conclude this, once again, remember it's a very, very interesting one. So you get the overview of everything about SJAG and the president. What is the most important message you want to send across, especially to sports journalists, would be practicing and the entire sports journalists, as you sit here as the head president of sports journalists, Omar?
Well, the message should be simple. It shouldn't be a difficult one to understand, and that is to preserve your integrity no matter what. For me, that is something that I will always advise journalist colleagues, and in fact those that are coming. Sometimes in our country or in this generation, we are mixed with funny administrators that will target smart journalists. So if you are not very careful, if you are not very cautious, truthful, and ethical, what you do, you can fall trap. And then when you fall trap, then you're gonna lose it. As a journalist, I will tell you this: the moment you lose your integrity, then you have to drop your mic or your pen, because anytime you write or anytime you talk, they will categorize you. But the moment you start talking and then you start writing, that happens, then you have to drop it and then go and find something else. Some of us are still here, strong, and then command respect is because of, with humility, we stood against very difficult circumstances for today. I know sometimes it's difficult as sports journalist or even as journalist. Survival, transportation, it's quite difficult. Our homes, sometimes you don't even have to eat. It's difficult. We've all gone through that. If you explain your story, he explains his story, I explain my story. We've gone through a lot of sacrifices. Briefly, I used to exchange my staff card at West Coast Radio, or let's say drop it at a shop in exchange of transportation of $25. I think we say here Taile. Because I don't used to have fares to go to the radio, so I will use my staff ID card to go to the shop.
To guarantee.
Yeah. Sometimes when I pass by, we laugh about it.
Okay.
So I place my card so he can give me $25 or $15. So for me to go to work. Sometimes my staff ID card will be there for months. I won't have anything to pay. But I knew one day things will change.
Yeah.
So hadn't been at the time I sold my soul, or in fact giving up, trying to take bribe there and there, compromised my integrity, I won't be able to stand tall in the midst of some very funny administrators. Yeah. So that is my advice to the young ones, and of course to the practicing ones that are in the field. No matter how difficult the situation is, let's be truthful, let's be ethical, and then always preserve our integrity. Yeah.
Fantastic. That is Sports 360 special. Alhaji Omar Presi, we finally come to the end of this. I am so glad that we give them everything that they want to know. They want to know in, out, and the big achievement, and especially, like I said, the 8th AP's Congress stands tall among everything of that. Finally, before we go.
Well, thank you very much. I'm always happy to talk to you and then talk to Gambians about the association. I know you people should prepare to take over, because after 1 year, I need to throw the baton to you. So we need to start working on that. But then I did serve with so much passion. This is something that I've never regretted. I don't regret a bit. But also, thank you so much, Atlantic TV. You guys are doing an amazing job. There are a lot of platforms out there, and you were able to fight your way strong. One of the best online platforms, TVs, that we have in the Gambia. So I want to also thank you for the amazing job that you were doing. Also for also serving as a very good role model in the executive, because it's very rare to count 1, 2, 3 best sports journalists in the Gambia and the person won't say dama jaar ci loxo Big Sam. So that we have to give you that credit. And one of the reasons why we have you in the executive, because I told them we have to go for Big Sam because we want to have that elderly touch, that generational balance in the executive. You fake demba, take fake demba. So that is how we can inspire each other. So it's always a pleasure to share the platform with you, and I hope I was able to do justice to the questions that you've asked, and then people that had the chance to listen to this interview got inspired, and of course learn a few things about the association and what we do at the SJAG.
Thank you so much, Alhaji Omar.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much. Well, guys, thank you very much. And that comes to the end of this wonderful live, of course, streaming of the what we call Sports 360 Light Special with the president of the Sports Journalists Association of the Gambia, Mr. Omar Jarju. Well, I'm the host, Bakary Manneh. Thank you so much. Big Sam, they call me. And a big thanks to my favorite cameraman, Edward Noah Baji. I know it's very cold in the studio right now. I can see the way it's sitting. And of course, big thanks to the one and only, the head of the TV, the man at the background. That is, of course, the one and only Matar Job, aka Liger. Of course, and their staffs, Atlantic TV. Thanks for being there, and the viewers out there. And of course, people in sport. Like I said always, keep on sporting. Thank you. Bye.